Hello, hello, hello. How are you? This is Els Kennedy from Beema's Crafty Corner, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about what we're doing. So, in the lives right now, we are making a folder, mini board book, non-board book, tag book kind of creation. And we're doing that with Midnight Tales from Graphic 45. But I realized while I was doing it that since it was alive, I'm not giving you guys measurements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a secondary one. And this one I'll put the measurements into. So when it's all done, it's kind of like this. So, supplies for this one: ink, a dauber, corner rounder, scissors, glue, cutter, scoreboard and scoring tool, not necessary but helpful, and 4 file folders. Okay, you want at least one top, one middle, and one bottom. It doesn't matter what the 4th one is. Okay, then you're going to want some paper. We have a couple of pads here. We have 3 pads here, actually. We have Spooky Hill. This is from the 2020 collection for Halloween from Recollections. We have Halloweeny, which again is from the 2020 collection. And I like this one because it's got, you know, on the back here, it's got like this page that you can just cut these things apart if you want a fussy cut. You want to use a minimum of an 8x8 pad for this one. But this one's really cool and it's kind of cute, so I grabbed that one. And then this is this year's, and it's called Enchanted Forest. And it is smaller. The other 2 pads are 48 pages. This one's only 24. And it really is kind of pieces and parts out of other things, but there's some foil in here. There are some transparencies in here. There's lots of foil paper. There's a couple of cute little sheets. Not very many, but there are some cute ones. Some more foils. So I figure between the 3 we got enough paper. Okay? And then, you know, embellishments and stickers and lace and trims and things like that, okay? So we're going to get started. I am going to get the cutter out, and we're going to get started. I'm going to show you how to do the cuts real quick, and then we're going to get this thing inked up, corner rounded, and all that happy stuff, and we're going to get it into a book format so we can work from there, okay? I'll be right back. Alright, so this one's going to be 7 inches tall. So for the 2 file folders that have the outside tabs, the cuts are pretty easy and simple. Stack them up so the tabs are on the same side, and you want to cut this 7 inches. So put your tab on the inside here, go to 7 inches. Make sure you have everything lined up nice and even. 7 inches. Cut those down. Save those. So that's all the cutting on those 2. So you have a top and a bottom now. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the next one. So we're going to take one folder, and what we're going to do is we're going to measure this. This is 11, just over 11. It's 11 5/8 this way. So what I'm going to do is we're going to find that middle piece, which is 5 and 5 9/16. And that is where I'm going to line this up, this marking. I'm going to line up for my cutting, and I'm going to line that at so it has to be 7 inches. So that's my middle point. So right there at the 3.5 is where I'm going to put that mark on my cutting board. So what I do is I take my mark and I take my ruler and I put my piece on, and then I find my 3.5 inch mark. I'm trying to do this so you guys can see. So that's my 3.5 inch mark. Okay, so I put it up there and I hold my ruler in place. Okay, and then I find my line and I put it right on the edge, and that will tell me where to make my first cut. And then I turn this around, put that on the 7 inch. I cut this part off, and that gives me a 7 inch with my tab in the middle. We're only going to use half the file folder. So the side with the tab is the part we want. So we're going to put this in our cutter and we're going to line it up. You can either open it or you can do it closed, whichever you want. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take just a very tiny little scant trace off of the end to cut this into 2 pieces. So I want the end with the tab. Okay? We'll save the rest of that. Let's get this out of the way. And then we're going to start doing these. All right. So I'm going to use the little scoreboard today because we don't need to use the big one. So here's what I'm going to do. From the fold line, I'm going to come out 4.5 inches, and I'm going to score on one side. See, I've got the file open. Then I'm going to turn it around, put that back in there, put the fold back up against the edge, 4.5 inches on that side as well. And I'm going to do that on all of these pieces. All right, so all of my 7-inch pieces have been scored at the 4.5 inch line, and then we have this to deal with. Now, this is going to be like the cover, so you can either put this at the top or at the bottom, wherever you want to. Like, you can shift it off a little bit so that it's not quite a top or quite a bottom or quite a middle. You can put it anywhere you want. So cutting this part is not as important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about 1.5 inches off of here, and then I'm going to turn this around, and I'm just going to move it to the 7-inch mark. And I'm going to cut it down. So that's moved my tab a little off center. Makes it a little more random. And then I'm going to put the end in, and I'm going to go to the 4.5 inch, and I'm going to score this piece as well. All right. That's enough for this part, all right? So we're going to set this to the side, and we're going to get out the scraps, the leftovers, the other pieces, the parts that we cut away, okay? And I can use a smaller cutter for these, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the pre-made folds off of those, because I need 4 of these. I don't need 4. You could do 2, you could do 3, you could do none. It's entirely up to you. This is kind of a an optional portion. Okay? And then I am going to cut this. So it's 4.5 inches plus an inch, so 5.5, roughly 5.5 inches, okay? And then I want to cut this down to 3.5 because I want this one to be 3.5. So I have 1. Then the next one will be about 5.5. And I'm going to make this one about 4 inches. And we'll pretty much do the same thing with these. 5.5, give or take. And let's do these at 3.25. All right. Save those. We might use them. And I'm going to get the scoreboard back out. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in, and I'm going to score these at 4.5 inches. I know, right? This is just so easy. 4.5 inches. Put that in. 4.5 inches. Put that in. Go. And one more. Alright, that's all of them. So that's basically all of our bits and parts for our base, okay? We're going to get the bone folder out. And we'll bring in all of our pieces. And what we're going to do is we are going to fold these little flaps, and we're just going to go over that with the bone folder. And I just want to make sure you know that my edges line up. Now, this piece, the same thing. We're going to fold this over. We're going to make sure that our corners line up nicely. And then I'm going to use my bone folder to just press that crease. Okay? Now, if you don't have a scoreboard, you can certainly do this by hand. It's just a little more difficult, okay? So fold this back. Bone folder. Fold this one back. So you're folding these to the outside. Bone folder. Okay, so this is your folder, folding it back, lining up your edges, turn it over, same thing, this is the outside of the folder, and we're going to do that to all of them. Alright, so you have now 4 that look like mini file folders, and you have 4 flaps. So we're going to put these in order, okay? So it doesn't matter what order you want. You can do bottom, top, middle, middle, bottom, top, whatever you want. And then your cover piece, okay? We're going to round some corners, and on this single one, we're going to round the top corner here. And we're going to round this corner if possible. If we can't, we can't. If we can, we will. Oh, Oh, I can't do the top corner.
I would have thought if they thought it was fixed. Okay. Yeah, there's something.
I'll fix it later.
All right, we'll check that. All right.
There we go.
Fantastic. In that case,
all right,
I'll
got that one.
Our update on this, and I appreciate the update.
So I'm going to round this one.
Yeah.
This one. And
All right,
this
yeah,
one.
'cause I'm pretty sure
So I'm rounding
fantastic.
the fold
All right, Stephen, thank you so much. Really appreciate the assistance.
and the corners, okay? So all the sharp corners. So on this one, we're going to do this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, okay? We don't want to round the folded ones because on the side where the double fold is, because that's our back. And I don't need to round any corners that are the natural edge. Let's get this one done. And one more. Okay. There. And then on our flaps, we're going to round these corners. Okay? Now, if you have a specialty corner rounder that you want to use, by all means do that. It's entirely up to you. I'm just using a round one because it's just simpler and easier. Okay. So now I've rounded all my corners on everything, and it's time to ink. Okay? So get out the ink that you're going to use, and let's talk about where you're going to ink these real quick, and then I'm going to go and ink mine, and then I'll be back to show you the rest of this. Okay? So, on these little flaps, I'm going to ink all the way around the edges. I'm going to ink both sides of the fold in and out. Okay? I don't need to ink this edge because this is going to be hidden. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. So, all the way around, top and bottom, the fold, both sides, okay? Then on these, you're going to ink all of the folds inside and out. Okay, except this one. So if it's the one that's in here by this marking, that's the inside one. You don't have to ink that if you don't want to. But you do need to ink this one, and this one, and all the way around the edge on all of these, okay? Then on this one, which one is it? Where is it? Where is it? This one. No, this one. This one. Okay. So then on this one, you're going to ink all the way inside and out. Okay? So that's it. So go and have yourself an ink party, and I will see you in just a little bit. Okay, so everything is all inked up. We have ink on all of our little cards. We have ink on our one single fold, and then we have ink on all of our W folds. And what we're going to do is make sure we've got them in the right order, top, middle, bottom, or however you want to set them. And then we're going to put them so that the folds are towards us. We're going to open up the first part, and I didn't ink in here so you guys can see this. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue across the bottom and then up the outside. We're just going to press that down. Okay? And then we're going to take that whole piece and we're going to flip it up. And then on this one, we're going to glue down this side, across the bottom, and up this side. Then we're going to put this back. And then we're going to open up the next part, and again we're going to go across the bottom and side. We're going to set that one down. And then on this one, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come up. And we're going to go down the side across the bottom and up the other side. All right, and we have one more to do, and that is this one, and this is an across the bottom and down the side. Then we're going to take that other one we have, and we're just going to put some right on the top. We're going to go here, here, and here. Okay? We're going to put this on the top. Make sure we have everything nice and lined up. And then we're going to turn this so we can look inside. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, and you can put these anywhere you want. Put in these little flips. Put one here. And then I'm going to put one of these here, but I'm going to have this one, I think, coming down. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do it right here in the middle. Then I'm going to do it this way. And then I'm going to put the last one in. And you can put in more of these or less of these or however many you want, okay? This is entirely up to you. And you can put them in any direction you want. This one, I'm going to have flip out that way. So I'm just going to line it up here, right on the edge. Now this one, I might have to shave this down and refinish. So if I have to do that, then I will do that. So I might want to take a little bit off of this because I'm putting it in. So I'm going to be careful because my book is not completely glued up yet, okay? So I'm just going to take that off and get this out of the way. Just going to re-round my corners and just re-ink this outside edge. See, it's in there nice. Alright, so we have this all glued up. I took the clamps off, and what we end up with is a front cover. We have a flip, our first tab, a big pocket here, a flip here, that's a pocket up here, and we will take our circle, find our middle, punch that out, And then we have a nice big pocket here, and another flip, and a big pocket up here. I'm going to go ahead and punch my hole here. And then we have another pocket here, and a flip here, and a pocket up here. So we will put our hole over here. And our back page, okay? So that's the whole thing. So this is where we're going to end the first part. When I come back with the next one, we're going to be talking about measuring the pages and making the paper mats to go inside, and then get into the decorating and stuff. So this is going to be it for this part. So if you're new here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Like me, ring my bell, and share me with all your friends, and then your friends can be my friends, and my friends can be your friends, and our friends can get to be friends, and before you know it, we have a gigantic friendly community. Until the next time, guys, stay safe. Bye-bye.